Over 11 inches of rain in some spots in parts of Bibb County, parts of Upstate and Crawford County, up towards Jasper, Putnam, and Jones County as well. An incredible amount of rain, and that did lead to a lot of localized flash flooding, but also now look at our rivers. 1 to 5 is what we're looking at, mainly north of Macon, and then that I-16 corridor between around 4 and 7, so of course that's that commute time home. Out to the Mulberry Street Arts and Crafts Festival tomorrow, one of my favorite events at Cherry Blossom. It is going to be breezy, something to keep in mind for all of you vendors setting up your tents, putting out all your products. You just want to be sure all those tents are extra secure. Tents can be fairly aerodynamic. Confirmed tornado that is rolling along the Jones and Baldwin County line, showing a debris signature indicating something is lofted in the air to keep us on the right side of the storm. And that is where we are going to be watching for severe weather as those outer rain bands roll through the area. Guess who just replaced her windshield? Yeah, that's me. And then hailstorm rolls in yesterday. I do like to report that my windshield is okay. So cheers everybody at home with your coffee with me. I carefully sip that. Here's 2 o'clock going along 75. This is the time a lot of students will be headed home from school today. Along this line of storms, very gusty wind, obviously some very heavy rainfall, maybe an embedded brief tornado within there. Being a tropical depression, it's all shaken up, so models don't even know where to start with this storm, and that creates even more uncertainty, unfortunately. Quiet start to downtown. A couple of people already making their way downtown. I'm not going to sing that. How close we are to the center of circulation, we're going to stay windy. The closer you get to a center of low pressure, the windier you're going to be.
Beautiful start to the day, but will it stay that way is the question, Courtney.
It's summertime in Central Georgia, Caitlin. Let's be real. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. Cast is going to be fantastic, or the fair cast, I should say, as a thank you. You see what I did there? The wind is strong on a Monday. And high pressure, we've talked about that before. That's that sinking air. And when air sinks, it warms, but also creates a drying trend. And dry is exactly what we're going to be as we head into the end of the work week.
Although the time is 5:38. And that wind already picking up. You said it might be worse than what we saw on Saturday.
Right, yeah, our peak wind gusts, at least at the Macon airport, was 36 miles per hour on Saturday, and we could experience wind gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour today.
Wow. I'm still brushing knots out of my hair from Saturday.
And the interesting thing is, I don't know if the wind is coming out of the south, but you can kind of already feel a little bit of that moisture, and I could smell it honestly this morning in the air.
Absolutely, and you're right, Wanya. Yeah, the wind is coming out of the southeast this morning. That's pulling in some of that more warm and moist air off of the Atlantic Ocean that is off to our east, and that is going to help aid in a warmer day today. That humidity will also continue to go up just slightly. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be summertime sticky today, but you will notice that extra moisture around in the air. You can see here on top of the fairgrounds that wind just slightly starting to pick up. It's light for now, but the wind today is all going to be a precursor to our cold front tomorrow that will of course bring us that potential for severe storms. So you're looking live on top of the fairgrounds here. A couple of people already making their way out the door. These trucks, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them parked on the side of the road this afternoon because we know it is pretty dangerous for them to be driving when it gets windy like that. So just take extra caution as we head into the afternoon hours when it comes to that commute. 59 right now in the city of Perry. It is a lot warmer out there. There's that dew point. So there's the moisture content in the air starting to go up all week long. We've typically sat in the 30s and 40s for dew points, and mid 50s isn't, like I said, super sticky, but you are going to notice that difference in the air this morning. Here's a look at the wind advisory for the area today. This is what you can expect wind wise. It will go into effect starting at 11 o'clock this morning and stay in effect rather until 8 o'clock tomorrow. 15 to 25 mile per hour sustained wind. So that's that constant wind. That'll be enough to knock over your trash cans. I know personally in my neighborhood it is trash pickup day. I'm sure that's going to be a little bit of a game for all of us later to go find them. And gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour will be possible. So can't stress enough that you really strap down any kind of loose objects that are in your yard and just both hands on the steering wheel as you're driving. Here's our front that we're going to be watching tomorrow, already bringing severe weather to parts of Arkansas. In fact, a tornado warning just popped up not too long ago, and there is going to be a really significant threat for severe weather out to our west, including the potential for more tornadic activity. In fact, strong tornadoes, long track tornadoes, EF2 or higher will be possible within this red highlighted area here. That's a level 4 out of 5 threat for severe storms. And yes, this is the same area that dealt with that just last week. March has been so busy severe weather wise, and this really is just the beginning of the severe weather season for us here in the southeast. March, April, and May are the most active times of year for us. And wind gusts 75 miles per hour or higher will be possible. Put that in perspective. We're talking upwards of a Category 1 hurricane wind gusts in parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. So if you have any friends out there, be sure they're staying weather aware. Now that threat is going to push into central Georgia, and we talk about this a lot. Today's storm outlook, the day one, technically goes into tomorrow morning. So for us, we're looking 5 to 7 a.m., but then we further that threat into early tomorrow afternoon, and you can see we do bump that threat up to a level 2 for some of the area, mainly from Bibb County off to the southeast. What we're primarily going to be looking for, damaging wind gusts and very heavy rain. Some of us could pick up 2 inches of rain through the morning tomorrow, maybe a brief isolated tornado as we head into the morning. So as we go through the day today, severe weather ongoing out to our west. That front will start to push into northwest Georgia through the overnight hours and then knock on our door as we head towards 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. This is when we'll open up that window of opportunity for severe storms. This is going to come through just in time for that morning commute. Look at this time, 8 o'clock. Heavy rain, that's going to cause some limited visibility, gusty wind within this, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and any severe storms. At this point in the day, south and east of Macon, that's where I think we'll be looking for maybe a brief isolated tornado. Threat comes to an end around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The second half of the day looks great. We'll stay windy though. We'll be dry Friday all the way through Monday. Lots of sunshine, low to mid 70s. Our next rain chance could come on Tuesday.
Y'all never remember. It's clear my throat. Lord have mercy.
Struggling a little
I'm
today,
trying to go down memory lane. Let me clear my throat. The time is now 6:37 a.m. I remember when I first started back in 2018 and I participated in the Martin Luther King March for a story, and it was really, really cold outside, and it seems like that's going to be the case again this year.
That's right. Yes, typical January. You know, it's supposed to be cold this time of year, although I guess the past couple of weeks until about this week, our weather has been very roller coaster-esque, from 70s to 40s to 50s. But of course, the big stories we head into this weekend, no matter what event you're going to, is going to be that winter weather. Will we experience any in central Georgia? We're going to take you through it. For now, we're just going to give you a quick run through of what to expect as you head out the door and for the day today. You're looking live on top of the fairgrounds in Perry. A couple of people already rolling out the door this morning for Friday. We have made it to the end of the work week, everyone. Temperature in Perry at 39 degrees, and area-wide we're generally in the upper 30s and low 40s. As we head through the afternoon today, another beautiful afternoon. Temperatures will climb into the upper 50s and low 60s. I think most of us will make it into the 60s today. Mostly sunny, a little bit of a light breeze. Can't ask for a better forecast. Now, the story changes tomorrow, not only if you're heading to Athens, but across the Peach State. It's going to be a little bit on the cloudy side. If you are heading up to the parade tomorrow, I know you're probably so excited. It's going to be chilly for the morning. Upper 30s by the time campus opens. When the parade starts, we'll be in the low 40s, overcast skies, and then when the celebration kicks off at 2 o'clock, it'll be in the upper 40s. Now, we made it a point to write it on this graphic because this is key. Very important for all of you Central Georgians watching us this morning, heading up to that parade. Do not spend the night. Can't stress that enough. You do not want to wake up and have to drive in the conditions that are expected up in Athens, that are going to start in the overnight hours and really starting Saturday night. So when the festivities are over, head home. It's the best bet for you, or you're going to have to drive in some very tough conditions. Ice is not easy to drive in. Neither is any kind of snow, and that is possible up in the Athens area. What about here at home? We're going to talk about it. Here is the weather system that we're watching. Area of high pressure all the way up in Canada. That's going to help push this system down and then build in that wedge. And that has been a big question. How strong does that wedge make its presence across the state of Georgia, especially here in central Georgia? I'm going to take you through one of the models. Now, this is a newer model. This model, I've said it all morning long, I have trust issues with it because even with our past couple of cold fronts that are typical this time of year, this hasn't been doing well with. So then now we're taking a potential winter weather situation. I'm not so sure that I have a lot of confidence in it, but still, this is a potential solution, and we're going to talk about why I think that this model is saying what it is. Starting at 8 o'clock, we'll introduce the chance for rain, potentially some widespread rain. If you have any Saturday night plans, it does look like around the dinner time hour, we'll start to have rain roll in from the west. As we head into early Sunday morning, here's 6 o'clock. The graph model is thinking
the wedge is going to build in quite strong. So that means that colder air is going to spill in all the way into central Georgia, allowing for that changeover from a chilly rain into maybe a wintry mix. So sleet rain, that slushy rain, and maybe even by 8 o'clock transitioning into some sort of flurry activity indicated by that purple color. The low of the center of circulation, the low that is within this system, is going to be moving off to the northeast. In the meantime, that cold air is going to be rushing in behind it. So if you already have the wedge that's keeping us cold enough to have a changeover, the rain is reinforcing that cold air, and then you have the cold air spilling in behind that front. Is this a possibility? Maybe even have flurries into the afternoon south of the 16 corridor. It's a possibility. Do I think this is the most likely scenario? No, because the rest of the models keep all the winter weather north. The North American model, which is another one of those slightly higher resolution models that only goes out a couple of days, that thinks we could see a wintry mix in central Georgia, but that's about it. So the graph, again, which hasn't been super reliable lately, is the only one really hinting that we can have any kind of flurry activity. So don't get your hopes up quite yet. I think for the most part, we'll look at maybe a wintry mix north of central Georgia, otherwise a cold rain. But are a few flurries possible? I'm not going to say that's completely out of the question. Beyond Sunday will be dry and cool with highs in the 50s for MLK Day. Next rain chance beyond our cold front will come on Wednesday.